things we've been thinking about is how do you take data and display it in a way that's sensible, that's really helpful to look at. This is an SAP database system that's taken from an automotive company. What we're doing is we're actually visualizing the data from the database system in real time. So as the data changes in the database, you're actually getting updated changes in the graphic. Down here, we actually have another presentation that's linked synchronously that allows you to use touch, multi-touch functionality to really zoom in on something that you want to look at closer. So that's one of the things that we do at Ventuz, is really thinking about new ways of presenting information. The actual technology behind it is DirectX technology, using basically, it's like a game engine, but trimmed for stability instead of performance necessarily. But it's resolution independent. So we have this particular is one presentation running at 6 times HD from one single 9800 FirePro. So when I click around it here and go into some of the different examples and that sort of thing, what it's doing is it's now passing queries, getting data out, and presenting in a way that's very easy to digest visually. If I tried to present this just as number columns, as maybe a bar chart, it's actually quite difficult to assimilate all that information at once. Using 3D, using sort of dynamic animation, it's actually very quickly possible to assimilate complex amounts of information very, very quickly and hone in with the touch screen on individual bits that you want to learn more about. Now, one of the main focuses about Ventuz is generally presentation. So companies like Porsche use our software for their launch events. Microsoft uses Ventuz for all of their CeBIT presentations. Where you do a lot of game shows and that sort of thing. All of the elements that you're required in these sorts of presentations are basically taking information, retaining an interactivity. Yeah, you want these presentations to be live, to be interactive, to be dynamic. And the key with that is that Ventuz is this interactive data processing system underneath a very powerful 3D engine that can build and display these information very, very flexibly. So whether it's in this case like an SAP data system, or whether it's in a different case, live video, or whether it's some sort of other information, maybe out of an Excel sheet, it doesn't really matter. You can take all this information, use it to build a presentation that's dynamic, that's non-linear, so I can switch around, talk about what I want to, when I want to, really choose, focus on something, maybe go back. I'm never stuck in a linear PowerPoint kind of slide thing. So it's a very, very high-end tool. It's visually very, very flexible, so I can use a design, I can use a functionality, I can use interaction that I think is appropriate for the presentation that I want to give. And I can present in a fashion, in a style that I'm comfortable with, right? I'm never locked into one thing. And the other thing that's important for us is we can take data, information, and present it in a way that's visually at a level that we've come to expect. We see all these Hollywood films, and they all have these modern computer interfaces, whether it's Avatar, whether it's Minority Report, Iron Man. We're getting these very, very visually high-level, impressive interfaces and presentations, and Ventuz is really a tool that allows you to recreate presentations in that fashion with whatever style you want to at a very, very high level of performance, and ultimately very, very scalable.